I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bill?
Yes.
John?
Here.
Betty? Here. Chris?
Here.
Hank?
Here.
All counted for.
Has everybody had a chance to review the prior meeting minutes that, in this case, would be the public hearing?
Well, shouldn't we approve both of them, public hearing and the actual?
Yes, I was gonna do one at a time, but we can do them both at once if you'd like. Is there any,
Which one are we doing first, the public hearing or the?
I was going to do the public hearing and then go back to the other meeting. Let's do them both, that's okay. All right, the prior meeting minutes, that was last month's meeting. They're both of them are in your packet. Somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes for October's monthly meeting and November 13th public hearing meeting.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, there being no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, the highway superintendent will be a little late, so I think it's best if we come back to his report. Justice report?
I'll make a motion, we accept the justice report.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the justice report. Any discussion? Okay, no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Dog control officer. The report from the dog control officer.
Yep. That should be, yeah, those are all the reports
There we
together.
go. All right, do we have a motion to accept the dog control officer's report?
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Okay, if there's no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, the assessor's report.
Make a motion, we accept the assessor's report as written.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the assessor's report? Okay, there being no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, code enforcement. Where is that?
It's,
Yeah,
I seen you, I seen you.
I got a pile here. So, there he is. Okay, do we have a motion to accept the report?
I'll make the motion to accept it.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the building inspector's report? Okay, there being no discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, town clerk.
I got nothing to report, really.
Oh my God.
Everything's going good.
Well, have you had any equipment trouble lately?
Not really.
How come we're paying for a router?
Oh, yeah, yes. Well, that was last month, I didn't have that. I didn't have the router last month, but I got the router and got that working, so we're all set there. Yep, that was about the only thing exciting that
No
happened.
more computer trouble, huh?
Nope, I got my DEC on the other computer and everything's working fine.
Okay. All right, we have a motion to accept the town clerk's report.
I'll make a motion to accept the town clerk's report.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, planning board.
Planning board, we had 3 public hearings, 2 for Leonard Logan, Gray Road subdivision, and the Schultz Farm subdivision. Both applications were complete and approved. We had a special use permit for Christopher Novak and Pam McKenzie. The application was complete, and the special use permit was granted. And there was no new business. The next planning board meeting will be on 12/4/2019 at 7 p.m.
Okay, since we have an in-person report, is there any questions for the planning board?
Yes, Paul, are you gonna be part of the comprehensive plan committee? Because you didn't stay for the public hearing last week.
I never was for the comprehensive plan.
Because you know that the members of the planning board are de facto on the comprehensive plan committee.
Well, I was never advised of that, and did not stay for that due to the fact that I hadn't attended any prior meetings.
See, that's kind of my cue to submit a supplementary report, I think, on the steering committee, because that is a separate topic. And Chris raises an important point. We had a public hearing last month to review the goals and objectives, and it was sparsely attended, and most importantly, really no general members of the public showed up. They did support the goals and objectives as they were written, but the topic came up that this board really should revisit who is on that steering committee and make clear whether, for example, members of the planning board are de facto members of the steering committee, or should be, and if they're not, maybe ask them if they want to be, just to get some more people involved in the comprehensive plan. You know, in theory, it's an important subject that we should be spending some time on, and not leaving to the few people who bother to show up. So, I don't know whether it's appropriate, but I think it would be good to put on the agenda for the next town board meeting a review of the comprehensive plan steering committee. You know, who's on it, who should be on it, who should we invite, for example, the new mayor of Nelliston? I don't think Mayor Post from Palatine Bridge is on it and an active member. But Mayor Bathrick was never that interested.
Are your new members signed up for school?
We all are. We all have to go.
Right.
Everybody's classes are up. So everybody will be going, the first group, and we're hoping that it's gonna be at Fort Montgomery Community College, and Nancy will let us know when it is.
You don't have a date then?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right, do we have a motion to accept the planning board report?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Hank, Sean, second. Any further discussion on the planning board? No further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, Board of Ethics, Jean?
Nothing new to report this month.
Okay. Okay, the supervisor's budget report, in your board packet. You'll note there's a large number of small adjustments. And we are taking money out of the current budget. We are not taking money out of surplus. And you'll note on the report with this month's expenditures that I gave you. Unencumbered balance, $445,033. You'll note there has been nothing spent out of our capital expenditure portion of the budget, which is $300,000. So the budget is pretty much coming in line. We don't know exactly what the expenditures will be, but I hesitate to bring more money out of surplus. 2 years ago, I introduced our theory on budgeting, and I wanted the budget to come as close as possible to spending for normal operating expenses in the town. Capital improvements, acquisition of real estate and improvements to real estate, I did not want to put in the normal budget. It's the long-term intention to spend down some of the surplus. The town has too much surplus for the size of our operation. To start off with the Pizza Hut, the endorsement to put the Pizza Hut on our insurance is $12. So I didn't feel that a transfer of $12,000 out of surplus was necessary. That's where we are with that. And that obviously is to be continued after the first of the year. What's going on in the background right now, our legal counsel is negotiating with Cayman Realty. We'll visit that as that progresses. All right, somebody want to make a motion, or no, it's got a resolution. What's the resolution number?
It would be resolution number, I think it's 46. 47.
47.
47.
4719. Making the adjustments. Does somebody want to make that resolution?
I'll sponsor resolution number 47 to make these adjustments.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ready? Any discussion on these transfers?
Sure. Bill, can you discuss the following large overages, which are supervisor contractual, contingency, and attorney contractual? I guess general repairs probably speaks for itself.
Well, I brought this month's bill from the attorney with me. If you would like, I'll distribute it to the general public.
I don't care one over the other.
Over half of it involves a board member's problems in hiring an attorney
I'm
and the
sorry.
town's proposed defense of it.
I beg your pardon.
The attorney fees would not be in excess of what was budgeted if there wasn't so much fighting and discrepancy on the board itself.
That's interesting.
I really don't see a need to publicly discuss what has gone on there and know full well it probably will continue when the board members that got beat retire from the board.
I see.
I can drag that stuff all out if you want to. A matter of fact, at the next board meeting, I can bring a detailed list of every item that the attorneys have provided for us that involve the town's defense against possible litigation and problems on the board.
Well, that would probably be interesting because it's all news to me personally.
What's the board's pleasure?
I move that you bring a detailed list of attorney expenditures and if you
Okay.
so choose these other overage expenditures.
Okay, we have a motion on the table. Do we have a second? I guess if there's no second, it won't be done.
Okay.
All that information's good.
All right, as budget adjustments, that discussion apparently came out of that. All those in favor of resolution 4719, say aye. Aye. And all those opposed, say no.
Nope.
Abstain.
Okay, the motion is passed. Now, I would like to announce, I realize this is on short notice, but I got a phone call this afternoon from the officials at Tractor Supply. They're having a ribbon cutting ceremony with the Chamber of Commerce Saturday morning at 7:30. The town officials on the board are invited to that.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that time?
Saturday morning at 7:30.
I'd like to get up early.
It's,
Did they
I
realize
just
it-
got the call this afternoon
Do they realize it's hunting season?
from the Chamber of Commerce.
Do
So.
they realize it's hunting season?
Yeah, they do, because a lot of the stuff on the shelf that has to do with feeding deer is gone. So, and they know it, all right? Yeah, okay. I wanted to make the announcement. All right. Well, even though Artie isn't here, let's get into the highway discussion. I've been keeping in pretty close contact with Artie. We have a lot, obviously, most of the money that comes into this township leaves by way of highway department. It's a major expense, and an expense that requires a lot of oversight. We have an excellent highway commissioner, in my opinion, and we were very successful in putting a new back on the one tandem axle truck. I think we put off buying another $220,000, $230,000 truck for probably 6 or 7 years. Now there's another township that has one available, and we have another truck that's a very good prospect. There is a 1 foot difference in the two boxes, and frankly, the one we're buying is better suited for the truck than the one that's on it now. The one that's on it now, there's a bit of an overhang, and I think we would do well in exploring the possibility of buying this box. So I already went and hopefully today or yesterday looked at the box to know for sure whether we have a good viable prospect. But I would like to entertain the thought of doing another truck. If we can avoid, we have 2 6-wheel dump trucks too that the backs are bad on. If you lift the box on the one of them, I'm afraid the box would fall apart. With a sander on it, we don't have to, so you strap everything down tight and it's fine, and the cabin chassis isn't too bad. But if we can keep from buying a lot more equipment in the short term, the long term has got to come out better. The machine that we're trying and now have a bill for $7,800 that we haven't agreed to yet is slow over the road. It's a $300,000 answer to what we thought at first would be a $450,000 problem. But from what Artie says and from what I have seen, it is not, the high flow portion of the machine isn't working, and it's too slow over the road to suit our purposes. So they have a factory rep coming to look at it. And 2, we are not able to do a lot of the culvert work that we wanted to do because obviously of the weather. So we're trying to put off that decision. and at the same time, look for another machine, maybe a cheaper answer to the $300,000 machine we have sitting in the yard. If we can put off signing the rental agreement to be sure they have it mechanically, so the high flow valve works on it, it moves faster over the road, we can probably get some culvert work done before winter sets in, and put the decision off a little bit with the possibility of maybe even finding something a little cheaper. So he's working on both those areas right now, and we don't have answers. We're just working at it. I don't want to be in a hurry, and if we don't spend the money out of this year's budget for capital acquisition, that $300,000, I'm okay with that. The budget won't get closed for probably 2 months after the expiration date anyway. But in looking at both these deals, a nice, slow, steady, maybe we can do better attitude will serve us a lot better. I'm sure Artie can explain it to you better when he's here. But know full well the highway department right now is busy, working hard at already salting and plowing roads, which our budget will stand up. Here he is. I'm trying to explain your slow over the road problems and your stainless steel box line.
Okay.
And I can't do it as good as you can.
All right, where do you want to start? The grade all?
That's good.
All right, grade all, let me just turn the volume down on this so it don't disturb us. Grade all, they were late getting it to us. I told them I wasn't sure I wanted to run it for a month because of time factor, and we'd see what the weather brought, but they still said they'd let us try it for a few days, so took it out to use it the first day, and it was extremely slow on the road. And I say slow, I mean slow. So it supposedly got 4 gears. You can tell there's 4 different speeds, but it ain't going as fast as it should.
There's a high flow valve or something of that nature stuck.
So grade all came Monday, looked at it, come back yesterday, worked on it all day, and they're coming back tomorrow. They got it narrowed down to what they believe is the box and the pedal that tells it how fast you want it to go. So he was waiting for parts. I just talked to him this afternoon, waiting for parts. They're gonna hopefully have it working right tomorrow. So once it gets working right, I'm gonna take a look at the forecast. If it's looks favorable for the weather, we'll probably rent it for the month. We did put 1 pipe in with it. You know, it's very similar to the old machine, just slow on the road right now.
Are you happy with the reach and the bucket capacity out on the end of
It's
the
identical to
drum?
what we got. You know, it's a little more stable because it has nylon tires onto it, like an off-road tread, whereas the other grade all has radials onto it, so that one rocks a little bit. But it actually has more lifting capacity than the one we currently have, a little bit, because it is built a little stockier.
That seems hard to believe. It's shorter, you know?
And it just and it lifts the same amount of weight over the ends that does the sides. I mean, if you look at the lift chart for it, it's a pretty good machine. Just it's pricey. So that's where we stand. We're waiting for them to fix it, and if it looks like the weather's good, we'll rent it for the month.